As far as I know, this is the fifth Nancy Drew book from the 1990s that takes place in San Francisco. I'm betting one of the ghostwriters lived in San Francisco. Who can blame them? The architecture there is amazing, especially when you consider that we built this city on rock and roll.
Argo Funk Book Review, Argo Funk Book Review.
Nancy and George are hanging out in the park near the Golden Gate Bridge when they stumble across today's mystery. An unknown man with a gun attacks a female artist. She's knocked unconscious and wakes up with amnesia. She doesn't even remember her own name. I didn't know head injuries could cause amnesia. Nancy gets knocked out every other book and she's perfectly fine. Now I want to see a book where Nancy legitimately gets amnesia. Lieutenant Antonio from Book 75 returns. He's still grumpy, sarcastic, and hates amateur detectives. He orders Nancy off the case. Off the mugging case, that is. She can still try to figure out what the woman's real name is. That'll be an easy case to solve, since the back cover spoils her real identity. Thanks a lot, summary person. The woman's art book has many pictures. The important one is a boat called the Lotus Flower. Nancy visits the various locations in the pictures until she gets lucky. She learns the victim is Lilly Lendl, a waitress at the Earthquake Cafe. Nancy waits 16 pages before telling Lilly. I thought that was kind of rude of Nancy to not tell Lilly right away. Yeah, I found out your real name. I'll tell you what it is when I get back from the library, okay? Lily's suspect co-workers are owner Arch Benton, manager Corey Spivey, and waiter Jack Minetti. Jack is short, but he's so funny and enthusiastic that all women are fond of him. They smile at him and can't help but agree to take him out on casual dates, which sometimes end in kisses. I can assure you that being the short but funny guy did not get me any dates when I was 18. This book says Nancy and George are both 18. Is this the first official confirmation of her age in the series? I can't remember all other 121 books. A kitchen employee named Din says Corey secretly hates Lilly because Lily's dating Arch. Din later sends Nancy a photo of Arch and Corey kissing. Din knows all the hot gossip. The library reveals that Lilly is a wealthy heiress. Her family disowned her when she decided to study art instead of business. Her angry brother Eric is willing to do whatever it takes to stop her from inheriting a giant trust fund later this year. They learn Lily's house has been ransacked, and Nancy gets a threatening phone call. Nancy goes on a date with Jack. He says Corey has a criminal record. As I alluded to, Nancy and Jack kiss at the end of the date. Her entire body has a warm tingle. I guess you could say she left her heart in San Francisco. Nancy and George meet with Arch. He admits he's dating Lilly. He says she occasionally disappears without warning. He had plans to propose marriage and fly to Mexico with her this week. He dislikes Eric, and he claims his relationship with Corey is in the past. Nancy uses the old, I forgot my jacket in your room trick to quickly search Arch's office. She gets a document titled Lotus Flower, which has a list of dates and names. Nancy correctly guesses the Lotus Flower is a secret smuggling boat. But what could it be smuggling? Nancy and George go to Alcatraz for 20 pages. They meet two high schoolers who are afraid to talk to them because those are girls that are older than them. Now that's more like me when I was 18. The culprit attacks Nancy from behind, smashing her head against some rocks. She fights back and knocks him down. Instead of taking 2 seconds to identify him, she runs away. Nancy breaks into Arch's office the next day. She learns he's the culprit in a few ways. He's spying on Nancy. He's got her hotel phone number. He has a phone message which shows he knew exactly when and where Lilly would be the night she was attacked. Sadly, Lily's attack was a misunderstanding. She wanted to talk to Arch about the secret marriage plans, but he thought she wanted to talk about his illegal misdeeds. That's why he attacked her. Arch's business records show that he's running a dummy corporation to hide the fact that he's transporting illegal aliens into the country. Most of them, like Din, are forced to work in his restaurants for slave wages. Nancy should go to the police, but instead she goes to, Corey? Why does Nancy give all the incriminating evidence to Corey? That makes no sense. Corey doesn't even like her. Arch takes George and Lilly hostage at his house. Nancy and Eric try to save the hostages. Arch brags about his evil plans, and he surrenders peacefully when Lieutenant Antonio and the police arrive. They arrive with Nancy's dad. He's angry with her for breaking her promise not to do anything dangerous. Uh-oh, Nancy's in trouble. This is Carson Drew's last appearance in the series. The end. Post-book follow-up. I like this a lot more than the last book. I thought the amnesia mystery at the start was fairly interesting, and it certainly ties into the main story more than last book's fake-out mystery at the start did. Still, 40 pages of amnesia at the start really cuts down on the amount of time Nancy gets to spend with the suspects. Add in the 20 pages at Alcatraz, and Nancy does not have time to talk to all 4 suspects more than once before the end. The Alcatraz stuff was fine, but I would eliminate it in favor of 20 pages of Lilly meeting the suspects. Poor Lilly mostly hides in the hotel room for most of the book. She should have been more involved in this case. The book purposely delays the human smuggling revelation as long as possible. I don't think that worked. I figured out the crime several chapters before Nancy did. It's hard not to figure it out when Nancy says outright, "This list of names must be related to what's being smuggled." Did Nancy forget she has solved a human smuggling case like this one before? Overall, I think the book works despite its problems. I still wish Nancy wouldn't casually cheat on her boyfriend for no reason. I give Nancy Drew Files number 122, Strange Memories, a 6 out of 10.